Kenneth Copeland is a televangelist. He was a big supporter of Donald Trump, and he weighed in on Trump's decision to extend the war in Afghanistan. Let's see what his take is.
He has chosen the finest military minds available to him today. And Secretary of Defense, Chief of Staff, and he trusts these men's judgment. And once you come into that place and you turn that judgment over to them, then they can act on a situation immediately. They don't have to wait 2 weeks and find out what all of the different do's and don'ts that come out of Washington. Mm-hmm. And the enemy has no idea anymore what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. So,
now, the other thing about Donald Trump, this man has put himself in the hands of God.
mm-hmm.
He's not trying to do it himself. He's got sense enough to know he doesn't know how. He told us that tonight.
Right.
His first instincts he's always followed, but then he changed his mind and said, no, I can't do that anymore. So we're watching the Spirit of God give new birth to this nation,
right.
And we're going back to the principles that it's like going back and dancing with the one that brought you.
That's right. Amen.
I mean, he's going back to the principles of this nation that won every war we ever fought until we changed those principles.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being one of those guys? What a sad, sad existence it is. It's beyond obvious that none of them have thought about the actual issue at hand for even a minute. We're talking about the war in Afghanistan here. We're talking about a war that we've been at for 16 years. We're talking about the fact that the Taliban now has control of 40% of Afghanistan. That's worse than when we first went in. So we've been there 16 years. Not only do we have nothing to show for it, we have less than nothing to show for it because it got worse. So instead of talking about the issue in question, hey, what's the end goal? What is victory? Why are we there? Is this to protect our security? Is there a threat from the Taliban of attacking here? Instead of discussing any of the real issues in question, what does he do? He goes, first of all, he praises Trump for outsourcing the wars to the generals. Say, oh, now you let the men handle it. Don't have to go through the red tape and go to Washington and whatnot. They can handle it on the field. By the way, this is all code word for, and Trump used to say this too on the campaign trail, you gotta let the military do their jobs. We don't fight politically correct wars. We don't fight politically correct wars. What does that mean? Oh, we're fighting politically correct wars. In other words, we got all these fucking rules and the Geneva Conventions and the Nuremberg Tribunal and international law and Schminternational Schlaw. Fuck all that. Let our military do whatever they want, and that's the way you win. You win that way. No more politically correct wars. So Trump says, I'm just going to outsource this to the generals, whatever the generals want to do. Well, guess what, dipshit? When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So there's the same fucking thing that happened in Vietnam. The presidents kept listening to the generals. Mr. President, we need more troops. I don't know. We've already been there for a really long time, and there's a lot of people and a lot of deaths, and we're not seeming to get much out of it. Mr. President, we need more troops. Okay, fine. Here's more troops. Year later. Well, Mr. President, I think we need more troops. Well, are you kidding me? You guys asked me for a lot of more troops last time. Mr. President, I'm telling you, we need more troops. There are always more troops, always more fighting, always more war, and now this idiot is praising Trump because Trump is saying, okay, generals, you do whatever you want. Shock, shock, they're going to want more fucking war. That's what they're going to want. So he's praising him for abdicating his responsibility and violating a campaign promise. He said clearly, let's get out of Afghanistan on the campaign trail. And this guy praises him for it. He's like, oh, see, a leader's willing to change his mind. And he says, I can't do that anymore. I changed my mind. So in other words, flip-flopping is good when your guy does it. Genius. And then you get the dumbest of the dumbest arguments. He put himself in the hands of God. What does that mean? You don't even know what that means. You're just saying words. Something, something, God, end of debate. I mentioned God. I win. Right? Isn't that how it works? I said God. I said God. So, it's easy to win a debate when you're an idiot and you use an argument like this. God agrees with me and not with you. Oh, well, I guess I need to go home now. You win. You said the Almighty, the Divine, the Omnipotent agrees with you, and I'm wrong. So, well, what the fuck is my response going to be to that then? Is there anything I could say to you that could make you believe that an all-knowing, almighty, omnipotent being is wrong and I'm right? No. So your mind is made up, bitch. No reason, no logic, no rationality, no evidence, no facts, no nothing. Yeah, he put himself in the hands of God, which means nothing, and I just made it up, but I'm going to say it, so good enough. And this is the Spirit of God coming through. Really, the Spirit of God. These are guys who are, they say, the biggest Christians in the world. So their argument is, Jesus Christ would want us to spend a 17th year in Afghanistan. I have a hard time believing that. Jesus is the guy who said, turn the other cheek. Jesus is the guy who makes me look like Ann Coulter with my non-interventionist stance. I look like a hawk compared to Jesus Christ. Turn the other cheek means somebody hits you on one cheek, you show them the other and say, hit this one too. Pacifist. Not only are they not pacifists, they're not non-interventionists. They are all-out neocon hawks. Jesus never met a war he didn't like in the minds of these guys. Unbelievably stupid. Again, it must be easy to win a debate in your own mind when you have a trump card. Pun intended. The trump card is, God, I win. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good conversation. I really liked it.